Aloha, everyone. Hope you guys are all doing amazing this week. I'm in La Jolla. I'm in San Diego, and we're running an event here. We're running one of our advanced events, and the team, they're over there. There's Deanne, Christina, and a lot of the team back there. Deanne, so helpful when she subs in for me. I think she's going to be doing that like next week, or yeah, is it next week? Yeah, cool. I'm traveling, and so she's going to be with you guys next week. And just having a great time here teaching an advanced training to people who've gone through our master level class. And last week we talked about energy and environment. Last week we spoke about the importance of energy and really good feedback. Thank you all for participating and giving that feedback and hearing from a lot of people that you want to go deeper with this. Well, today it's about environment. It's about the environment that you're in. And so the studies that Bruce Lipton cited in his book, Biology of Belief, they were about, healthy cells in a petri dish, a dish where you're able to grow cells. And like we talked about last week, when they would use energy fields that, were less than positive, or even tensions that were less than positive, the cells would mutate. Well, simple, very, very simple, is the idea that if the petri dish is dirty, if it has bacteria or mold in it, then the cells are not able to be healthy. And so that's where Bruce Lipton talked about biology in Biology of Belief, about energy and environment. Well, if you read the book, Bruce talks about his journey of being dismissed from a university for asking the questions that he did. He then was a faculty member at a university that I ran. I took a university through the accreditation process. And I knew him for a good decade. He was at Agape a couple years back, and I went in to just say hi to him and meet Michael Beckwith. And what I asked him, I said, Bruce, it's been a while since I've seen you, and I've been teaching. And I said, I cite your book all the time, love your book. And I said to him, I get the whole environment thing. I get it from a scientific standpoint. And I said, and we as individuals, we're not single cells in a petri dish. We have consciousness. We have a mind. And I said, so Bruce, wouldn't it be fair to say it's not the actual environment that you're in, it's your interpretation of the environment. Therefore, energy and consciousness are what affect your cells first and foremost. And he said, I absolutely agree. He goes, and I said, the example, Bruce, that I use in all of my trainings is New York City. I've been to New York, and I like going there from a vacation standpoint, especially in the winter, catch a show, have some really good dinners. And so I look out at the audience at our practitioner level events, and I say to them, how many of you have been to New York? Hands go up. How many of you love New York? It felt like your cells were thriving there. Some of the hands stay up. I said, and how many of you did not like New York at all? It felt like you were not in a good petri dish and your cells did not thrive there and you wanted to get out. And hands go up. And I said, okay, so New York in and of itself is not a great or bad place. It just is. And your interpretation of it actually affects your cells. So rather than going back and talking about energy again, just think about this for a moment. If you have negative emotions around a place, you're going to interpret that event differently. Some people love the city. Some people don't love the city. Some people love the country. Some people don't love the country. I came from an island. I'm from the island of Oahu, and the beach, I love the beach. I love going to the beach, and I would never want a home on the beach or even to stay near the beach because like sand's all over the house. So that's my interpretation. Some people love that. What you have to do with environment is sometimes you have to enforce a boundary. So if your environment isn't what you want, you basically have one of two choices. You either need to get out of the environment that you're in because otherwise it will affect your cells. Or what you need to do is you need to enforce a boundary in order to make your environment more appealing to you. So let's take an obvious example. If you are in a toxic work environment, I had a client and she was in a toxic work environment. She did not like it. She had no control over it. She didn't have control over the environment because she was working for another company. I said, there's really not a lot to do. I mean, I can reframe you. I can get you into a positive mindset. And if at the end of the day, this environment just doesn't vibe with you, you're going to need to, from your heart, enforce a boundary. And in this case, it could be that you need to leave. And she ended up leaving it, going to a job that she absolutely loved, and a positive environment. Hey, Joanne, how you doing? Yeah, positive environment. Now, flip it over to like me, for example. I own the company. And so there are certain things that I want in the environment. For example, team members that love our Huna training, team members that actually practice what they teach. We actually practice the techniques, NLP, MER. I have the ability to control that environment. So rather than working with individuals that don't practice what they teach or thrive off of their negative emotions, that wouldn't be fun for me. That would be an environment that my cells would not thrive in. And so by controlling the environment, you actually alter your physical body all the way down to the cells. It's absolutely incredible. Your mindset is also so important about the environment. Deanne and I were geeking out on some research, and we were talking about I think the group asked a question. The last training we were at, the group asked a question that had to do with how powerful is the mind. And Deanne explained to me the study called the milkshake study, and loved it. The two of us, we were geeking out on this. And in the milkshake study, it was done at Stanford University. They took two groups of people, gave them each the exact shake, like a protein shake or something. Tells one group there's only 140 calories in this, and it's not going to satisfy you. It's not going to be, like something that's going to hold you. Just drink it and give us some feedback on it. Gave the other group the same shake and told them it has 600 calories. It is satisfying. It's going to fill you. And they were able to measure. There's a hormone that's released that's called the hunger hormone, which tells your mind that you're hungry and you should crave more food. The people that believed the shake was 600 calories had 3 times less of that hormone released, meaning just the suggestion that it's going to fill you up, the mind and the body release less chemicals, therefore keeping you actually filled. And it's crazy to think about that, right? Just the idea that a scientist, a doctor, says to you, here's what's in this shake, and it actually alters how your cells respond. That's an example of the mind, of consciousness, of your interpretation of the environment. So kind of boils down to, it's up to you what you do, If you're in an environment and you don't like it and you don't have the ability to alter it or shift it, there's only so long you can reframe yourself before you really need to get out of that environment. And if you do have the ability to reframe it, to alter your perception on it, you're going to have a different response to it all the way down to the physical body. So that's part 2 of energy and environment. Thank you all so much. I love the fact that you guys jump in and, all the comments. Post as many comments as you want. And Guillermo, yes, I like that. Don't let your own negative perceptions ruin your experience. Exactly. And that can include people. That can actually include people. Sometimes you have to make sure that you are surrounding yourself with the people that are going to assist you in being the best version of you. Very cool. I look forward to seeing you guys in a couple of weeks. I'll be in Hawaii. Next week I'm flying during this time, so Deanne will be joining you and dropping some amazing information for all of you. Okay? Take care. Aloha.